Hello, Palmer Academy. I thought, seeing though it is World Book Day on Thursday, that I would share another book with you. Now, this is a book that many of the boys have really enjoyed in my classes over the years, and I have got quite a few of these ones. So there's a series of these, and it is a ZPD 3.1. And if you are successful in your quiz, you can collect 1,135 words. Now, you don't have to have read the book yourself to do a quiz. You can select that you have listened to somebody else read. So you can still do a quiz after I have read the book to you. Now, I know some people in year 3 might be interested in this book because, as you can see, it says Sweet Disaster. And the blurb says, Ricky Rocket has made shortbread astronauts using Grandma Earth's best recipe. The Tweetles gobble them up, but why are they turning that funny colour? Now, this reminds me a little bit of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I know that's what you're learning about at the moment. So let's go. Ricky Rocket, Sweet Disaster. Ricky Rocket stood in the middle of the supermarket, staring. He looked as if he'd found the Holy Grail. Look, Mum, Lord Vorg Crunchy Bars. Lord Vorg's a crunchy munch, sang Ricky's little sister Sue. Ricky grabbed Sue in a Martian headlock. No one made fun of Lord Vorg. He was Ricky's favourite TV character. Sue let out the kind of ear-splitting, blood-curdling, brain-jamming scream that little Earth girls are famous for all over the universe. Ricky, let her go. Mum read the back of the packet. These Lord Vorg bars are full of horrible chemicals. Heaven knows what they'll do to you. They might make me grow up to be big and brave like Lord Vorg. I don't want you growing up like him, Mum said. We'll make some proper biscuits at home. Lord Vorg Foods, crunchy bars, sugar-free but full of additives. These include XZ72, YW38 and GRDBILDJ. Tasty. Breakfast cereal, power-packed with vitamins and crunchiness. There's always a fab-free gift inside. Milk, breakfast milk made from crushed nettle pods, perfect on Lord Vorg's cereal. Crunchy yogurt, the meal you can take with you. The 2 compartments keep the crunch fresh. Shortbread astronauts were Granny Earth's best recipe. Ricky and Sue mixed and rolled flour, butter, and sugar and cut out astronaut shapes. Mine looks like Lord Vorg, said Ricky. Lord Vorg's a silly biscuit, Sue chanted. The kitchen filled with the wonderful smell of baking. When the oven went ping, Mum took out the golden biscuits and put them aside to cool. The doorbell rang. A green alien stood on the doorstep with 5 children. Hello, she twinkled. I'm Mrs. Tweetle, your new neighbour. Mum was flustered. Mrs. Tweetle's husband was Dad's new boss, so she must be thinking I must make a good impression on her. It would be an honour if you would enter our humble home and partake in some refreshments, Mum said in her posh alien voice. A cup of tea, perhaps? Do you think Mum always spoke like that? No, she was putting it on to impress, wasn't she? Tea would be lovely, Mrs. Tweetle smiled. Everyone in the universe likes earth tea. Do you have milk in your tea? Mum asked. Yes, please, but no sucrose. Mrs. Tweetle's eyes bubbled. Tweetles are hyperallergic to sucrose. Then she whispered so that Ricky couldn't quite hear. It makes us go a bit silly, like being drunk. Shortbread astronauts. 2 units flour, 2 units butter, 1 unit fine sugar, 1 unit ground rice, also known as sogilina. Get an adult or a drulog to help. Mix your sugar and butter in a bowl. Work in the flour and ground rice. Roll out the dough and cut to shape. Cook in the oven at 150 degrees Celsius until golden brown and delicious. Allow to cool before eating. And then drulogs are from the planet Dru. and are the best chefs in the universe. I wonder what's going to happen. Do you think they might have some of the biscuits? And if they do, they're full of sugar, which is what sucrose is. The Tweetles were very shy. They stared at Ricky and Sue, who stared back. "Want to see my rocket?" Ricky said. They followed him into the yard like obedient puppies. "See my Lord Vorg laser holes?" Ricky asked, pointing out the stickers on the hole. "You get them free with Vorg flakes." The Tweetles smiled politely. "Fancy a ride?" Ricky asked. The Tweetles huddled together and shook their heads. "Want to go on my gravity slide?" Sue climbed to the top and whizzed down the other side. One of the Tweetles followed her. It sat at the top of the slope and didn't move. Ricky was surprised. "You don't weigh much, do you?" He turned up the slide's gravity control. The gravity motor whirred. The Tweetle shot down the slide, scooted across the yard, and crashed into the prickly bush. Squawk! The other Tweetle's eyes bobbled. Sorry," said Ricky, smirking. "I must have turned the gravity up to full power by mistake." Ricky couldn't think of anything else to do with the strange, silent creatures. "Let's have our own tea party," Sue suggested, leading everyone into the kitchen. "Here you are," she said, pouring water from her toy teapot into plastic cups and saucers. "A nice cup of tea." "Pass them round," she ordered. Her eyes landed on the shortbread astronauts on the baking tray. "Would you partake of a shortbread astronaut?" she asked, copying Mum's posh alien voice. "Earthlings find them delicious." "I like to bite their heads off first," said Ricky. The Tweetles opened their mouths, threw the biscuits in, swallowed them whole, and burped. "Pardon?" they said together. It was the first word they had spoken. Tweetle food. Tweetles have to be very careful about what they eat. They are allergic to many foods. WBD is an important part of the Tweetle diet. It is made from pulverized gourd beans. Tweetles have 5 stomachs. They work like fermenting tanks. If sugar is added, any food in the stomach will be turned into alcohol. Alcohol makes the Tweetles go lightheaded and they are able to float. The smallest Tweetle was the first to go funny. His eyes glazed over and he started giggling. Soon the others joined him, kicking their legs in the air. "Laughing landy lizards," Ricky exclaimed. "They're floating." The 5 Tweetles shrieked. They joined hands above the cooker and swirled about like a merry-go-round. "It's all your fault," said Sue. "Do something." "I didn't do anything." Ricky knew he was going to get the blame anyway. The biggest Tweetle wafted out of the door and into the yard. "Come back," Ricky yelled. It was too late. The door of his rocket was hissing shut. The Tweetle stuck out a purple tongue and waved. The engine throbbed. Ricky shouted and banged on the door. "You don't know how to fly it!" The Tweetle disappeared from the window. The rocket lifted and hovered for a moment, then tipped over on its side with a horrible grunching clang. Ricky sprang the escape hatch. Inside, the Tweetle was curled up, fast asleep. Sue called from an upstairs window. "Ricky, come quick, they're going crazy!" In the bathroom, a middle-sized Tweetle was squirting toothpaste and puffs of shaving foam into the air and catching them in its mouth. Another was lapping water out of the toilet. It licked its lips, hiccuped, and smiled. Yum! The other 2 Tweetles were dancing up and down in front of the mirror, smearing Mum's lipstick on their faces and singing in strange bird-like tones. La-li-la-li-la. A voice boomed from downstairs. "What's going on?" Dad had come home with Mr. Tweet, and Mr. Tweetle was with him. Dad stormed upstairs. Someone has given these Tweetles sucrose. Not us, Ricky protested. All they've had is shortbread astronauts. And what's in these shortbread astronauts? Dad asked. Flour? Yes, said Dad. Butter? Yes, said Dad. Sugar? Dad exploded. Sugar? Sugar is sucrose. Mum came to the rescue. We used Granny F's recipe book. It says to use sugar. Ricky wasn't to know that sugar and sucrose are the same thing. Never mind, said Mrs. Tweetle. They'll be all right, but they're going to have terrible headaches tomorrow. The only biscuits we have in our house are Lord Vorg's crunchy bars. At least you know what's in them. By now, all the Tweetles were fast asleep and floating a metre off the ground. Mr. Tweetle had to tie some string around their legs and walk them home like a bunch of balloons. These are lizards from the planet Landy. They have a happy waggy tail. Laughing Landy lizards make everyone laugh. There is a 1-hour TV show of just the lizards laughing at the camera. It is impossible not to laugh with them. Landy lizards laugh when they are sad or depressed. However, the lizards make a lot of money from their TV show, which cheers them up a bit. Dad helped Ricky put his rocket back on its landing pads. Make sure you don't give the Tweetles anything with sugar in the next time you see them. Mum came out into the yard. Is everything okay with Mr. Tweetle now? Yes, thank goodness. In fact, he's invited us over for tea on Sunday. Hooray! Ricky whooped. The only biscuits they have in their house are Lord Vorg crunchy bars. The end. Okay, so it's a very, very silly book, isn't it? So make sure if you enjoyed that and you understood it well, then you can go on to Accelerated Reader and take a quiz and see if you can earn the words for them. I hope you enjoy listening to all of the other teachers reading some of their favourite books and some books for you to use at home. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.